Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Method to Madness podcast. This is going to be a new thing that we're doing, just basically a side hustle that I started to get to know the comedians of Toronto, both veterans and newer comics coming up in the scene. And my first guest is a new comic on the scene, been doing it a bit less than I have, right? Like you've been doing it for 9 months or something like that?
I've been doing it for, just like a year.
For a year, okay. So I've
been writing for a long time.
You've been writing for a long time. And it is Miguel Jose de la Barrera.
Hey, you actually got the name right.
Yeah, I know, because like you chirped me the last time I got it wrong.
Everybody gets my name wrong. It's a long name.
Because we know that Toronto has a very huge and thriving Latino population.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we have some large representation here in Toronto.
And it's great too because like a lot of Latino comics do a lot of great work, like Gabriel Iglesias, as well as like the girl from LA. She used to work on Mad TV. Her name is Alejandra.
I don't remember.
But
that's the thing though.
Yeah.
Like with my name, so on my birth certificate, I have both names. So Miguel Jose de la Barrera and Michael Joseph de la Barrera. And you hear the accent difference?
Yeah, you can.
So when you say it in English with an English accent, it's I grew up Michael Joseph de la Barrera. Right? That's how everybody called me. But even growing up, de la Barrera wasn't even pronounced properly. So, because I have both names, I guess because my family grew up here in Toronto, they chose, we'll go with the English version.
Me is just like, my name was just basically my mom watched James Bond, saw Sean Connery and went like, That's his name now. That's his name now. Like he was trying to figure it out, and there it was. And then what else? Like
you do not look like Sean Connery. Yeah, if Sean Connery had a really really dark tan.
Okay. And then what was it? Like my whole name is like Sean Sankar Rivermonte Rampersad, like a really long one, but like.
Okay, wait. Slow that down.
Yeah.
I need to get that.
Sean Sankar Rivermonte Rampersad.
Where's the Rivermonte come from?
My mom's Filipino. My mom's Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I can say your whole name.
Probably. You got some Spanish in the genetics.
Yo, absolutely. When the Spaniards took over the Philippines, of course.
Yeah.
But like.
So I just want to start by saying, thank you for having me, and I'm honored to be able to be your first guest on this ambitious journey that you're taking. So, congratulations.
Ambitious journey, yeah, let's call it that.
Why not, man?
Because,
are you doing shit that other people are trying as well?
No, it's not that. It's more lines of like, I literally just had this idea because I was just sitting down I woke up from like literally just after work. And I'm just like, you know what we're not doing in Toronto? We're not getting to know the comedians. We don't have that emotional connection with the audience because, like, they do that in the States, like, with a lot of podcasts. Like, Andrew Schultz will have his podcast with Flagrant 2. Joe Rogan does it with his. Like, but, like, there's nothing for us smaller comedians because I think that, like, we don't really exactly have that much pull when we're doing this. Like, not a lot of people know who we are. So this is a way of, like, hey, I'm giving everyone an opportunity to get themselves out there, to express themselves, because like 5 minutes on a stage is not a lot of time.
No, it's not. And again, you're on stage telling jokes.
Exactly.
People don't get to know you as intimately as something like this. I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Exactly,
because good idea.
You're putting like a cartoon version of yourself on stage, not the actual person.
Absolutely. And a lot of the time, you're not telling your jokes, you're performing your jokes, right? So having the opportunity to, give people a little bit of a background on like how we actually are in normal life, it's a good idea. And
oh yeah, this guy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the kid.
I hope I don't scare the fuck out of everybody on here.
No worries, no worries. It's gonna be like, oh, so this person is an actual like thriving member of society. You know? Okay, so let's just begin with the introduction. So, okay, we got in a minute away. So, what exactly attracted you to stand-up comedy? Like, what made you want to get into it, like, at all?
Well, I guess I'll give you a little bit of a background. Like, growing up, I just always had this kind of intense need to amuse other people, whether it was at my own benefit or not. But yeah, to make people laugh. And, you know, I used to get in a lot of trouble when I was in school because I would do stupid shit to make other people laugh.
Like, can you give us an example of what the stupid shit was? It's okay, man. Like,
this is super embarrassing, but I learned how to burp on command, like super fucking loud, and for a long time, and I can talk while I do it.
Are
you gonna make me do this shit?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna make you do that because like the different sensibilities for different people. For whatever reason, some people feel like throwing up when you burp, so I don't want to give that to anyone. But I know how to do that too. So it's so weird. Like I'm just like, oh, that's why I started smiling when you said that. You're like, oh shit, I know how to do that too.
And a funny story about that actually is a family friend that I've known. Well, he's known me since I was born. He used to. We would see each other, you know, because all of our families would get together a couple times a year, and so every time we would see each other, he would challenge me to have a longer burp the next time I saw him. So like I was in training like 6 months of the year, and he used to give me like different like tongue twisters that he would want me to like say, and each year. Or each couple of times when we would see each other, in between that time, he would say, okay, you already know what you're supposed to burp out, but we're adding like 2 syllables. And every time I would do it, he would give me $20.
Okay, so that was your first comedy gig. So that was your first gig, man. That's from over here. That's your first gig. So like,
burping and then feeling like shit the rest of the day.
Was my
first comedy gig.
But like,
shit.
So that was like kind of like sort of like your walking into comedy.
Yeah, just being. But I didn't like to be the center of attention. That's the trippy part to me. So I would do shit to make people laugh, but I wouldn't want people to cheer for me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It was just like a weird kind of connection to it, and it developed over all of these years. When I was in high school, speech time, no go. Did not want to do that.
So like, bridging off from that, like, who in the comedy world inspires you to do your stand-up comedy? Like, what makes you go like, this guy or girl is saying something and I want to try and emulate that? Or get further, or learn from that.
Growing up, I watched a lot of movies. Most of the movies that my family watched and enjoyed were comedies. So my go-to when I think about comedy, I think the first comedy album I ever watched was Eddie Murphy Raw.
Okay, that's
right? Like
that's the introduction to comedy. It's comedy 101 right there.
But yeah, at the same time, that was what my generation at the time was interested in, and that was what was hitting. Even though it was older than us, but like that was still so relevant. And as I got more interested and infatuated with comedy and the whole art of it, George Carlin,
of course,
right? Who I didn't understand, broke the mold for people like Eddie Murphy and others that came after him.
Yeah.
So I got to round out, you know, all of those different pieces of comedy and the people that influenced it. So I would say Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, obviously, DC.
Dave Chappelle, of course, the greatest of all time. But like,
I wouldn't even say in that order. Just them collectively is what comedy is.
That's what I'd have to say. There's no way to compare comedians to each other because, as I said, like
it's like Tupac and Biggie.
Exactly.
Different styles. East Coast,
West Coast.
West Coast. Even though Pac was from East Coast.
Exactly. It's more like this because, like, I keep telling everyone this who doesn't understand what stand-up comedy is. It's pretty much like music. Everyone has their own taste. Yeah. Everyone has their own taste. Like I like a rap.
Everybody understands a joke, perceives it in a different way. Hits one crowd, hits another crowd, doesn't hit one crowd, doesn't hit another comedian. Another comedian gets to
exactly
shit, but it's gold at the same time.
The best example that I can put out there is just like NWA. Back in the day, it was just like, yeah. I know.
You're talking to the whitest Latino about NWA.
It's no problem, man.
On your first podcast.
It's no problem, man.
Let's go, man.
It's no problem, man. Like,
I love that music.
Yeah, I love NWA. I still listen to all Fuck the Police and like Straight Outta Compton and all that. But like, it was, how do I explain it? Like back in the day, a lot of people thought it was about gang violence and like how like just anger at the system and all that. It wasn't just that. It was also like how they were experiencing their life in Compton and all this other stuff. And that's what I loved about it is because like you can actually take your art in so many ways. Like George Carlin was my first introduction to like comedy can be insightful. It can be a very observational and like very intelligent.
Well, it is, right? It's intricate. It's different. And you can observe any situation that passes you throughout any moment of the day and look at it in a different way, and you can create something through that.
Yep.
And that's that. So again, to answer part of that question, like those are some of the things that I love about comedy, and that's what drew me to it.
Exactly the same thing as
I would see shit in so many like different abstract ways than other people growing up about like a regular situation. You know what I mean? Like when so for example, when I used to get a ride to school or even being on the school bus, all the kids are talking about what are we gonna do today at school? You know, what are we gonna fuck up? How are we gonna get out of trouble? Whatever it is, right? I'm sitting on the bus, looking out the window, and we pull up to a red light. I'm thinking about what the person in the car next to me is thinking. Like what are they thinking right now? Where are they going? What does their day look like? What job do they have? So you look. I just always looked at things kind of very abstract and put my own story to it.
Okay, that's like,
and that's how I write jokes. I see something, I observe it in a certain way, and then I break it down and look at different ways that I could have it perceived by other people.
So that's what also like I would say inspires your writing as well.
It's an art, man. Right? Nobody paints the same.
No one does. It's like
nobody sings the same.
Yep. perception, observation, and interpretation.
Absolutely, man.
Because that's what I love about this art. Like, it's just like, it's going to mean, what you say is going to mean so many different things to so many different people.
Exactly.
Because
that's the beauty of it.
Exactly. And that's how come, like, everyone's like, oh, like, I think you've gotten it too, like, from non-comedians, like, aren't you afraid of offending someone? Are you afraid of making someone angry? And I've always said no, because, like, at the same time, I'm like, I can't control what they think. I can't control.
No, you can't. You can censor, you know, or not even censor, because I don't like that word.
Me too.
Censor what you say, but you can be more aware of the way that you deliver a certain message.
Exactly.
And at the same time, that way that you deliver it may not be correct, and it may still piss people off. But you're right.
Yeah.
You can't control what other people perceive.
Because like I remember this one time. I think you were with us. We were performing at the Oniri K pub. The one over.
I kicked the fucking guy out.
Yeah, not
that was me.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that night. I don't know if you were there or not. Like me and like Andres Cervantes, shout out to him.
Hey, what's up, my big homie?
Yeah. We were performing like an actual show.
He's gonna be on here, no?
Yeah, he is. Eventually.
Alright.
He's gonna be here on here eventually, after like in the next 2 weeks, I'd say. And we were having this show, and like we felt like me and him pushed the envelope a bit too hard in that room, because like one of my jokes is just my dad being honest with me, but I go talk about like the. Okay, that's what I'm just gonna say the pussy quivering.
Yeah.
And I thought like that
the Hey Arnold.
Yeah, the Hey Arnold joke, and I thought like. And I thought to myself, okay, there's a bunch of girls in this room. They're not gonna like that, but they were fine with it.
Dude.
Yeah.
That you have to. If you don't take the shot, you're never gonna make it.
Exactly. Wayne Gretzky quote: "Like you miss every shot you don't take."
Absolutely, man.
But like, what happened was
I did my joke, "The Power of Pussy," in front of an all Ukrainian crowd.
Yeah.
And like the 5 women in the front row grilled the shit out of me. Nobody laughed. Like it was dead silence. Nobody laughed.
I don't think I heard that one.
No.
You don't have to say.
I'm not dropping it here.
Y'all
come out to a show.
Exactly. Go out to one of those shows to hear it, because I'm like, I don't want any release material. Like you can talk about concepts and everything, but like don't like actually.
No, but I did a joke. Like the title of it is "Power of Pussy," and like I wrote a pussy poem, right? And so like I wanted to get the crowd engaged, and these women were just not feeling it, man.
As it is, like.
But you take the shot, and then I did it in another room.
Killed it.
Fucking cleaned up.
And that's what everyone has to realize. Every room is different. It's not 100% consistent. And also, like the same show I'm talking about is DK Fan. He was just talking about like his family and all that, and they were more offended at him. And we were like that's the other thing too. Like he said like nothing wrong, like at all. Like me and Andres was just like, that's funny, that's okay. It's just very simple family situations, you know what I mean?
It's funny that you said that though.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw what I posted this morning.
I did not.
No?
I was too busy setting up this whole thing.
Okay, so I was on a show last night, and I posted a couple of clips, and they're, I went hard.
Okay.
My mom messaged me this morning.
I have yet to have that happen to me.
My mom messaged me this morning, and she's like, you have family, friends, and coworkers that are gonna see this shit. She's like, you might need to think about, the next time you post something like that. And for me, like I didn't even message her back. I didn't even draw into it, because they're jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's comedy. And I know that's why I've never had my parents. Have you ever had your parents out to a show?
My mom wants to see me perform really badly.
I won't have them out. My mom will not. Like, she won't come to a show yet. I think until, like, I have some, like, accreditation, because she knows how crude I am. She knows I have a fucking love.
Because it's just like with like my mom wants to come out, my family really wants me to come out because they've already seen my jokes. They already know how I talk. My extended family, like my cousins and all them, they already know what type of like how I talk and everything. So they're just like, it's not gonna be like anything new to them.
Yeah.
So like, but my mom on the other hand, I clean it up a lot when I'm around her because it's my mom.
Well, it's like, why do we have to do that though? We're fucking grown ass men.
Oh.
I know it's a respect thing, but okay. When we have like family dinner, my sister, you know, she's married. My brother-in-law, I love him to death. But my sister and him, like they swear and shit. So we're at dinner at their house, and my brother-in-law, you know, would be like, "Yo, did you see the fucking Leafs last night?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, they were fucking bullshit." My mom will look at me. She's like, "Miguel,
you're still
stop swearing." I'm like, "Mom, did you not just hear him swear? He's not my son." The fuck, technically he is on paper. We're in their house. What the fuck? So I get it, but
it's simple.
It's that family,
immigrant family. Simple immigrant family upbringing. You can't swear in front of them because, like, my dad
just swears in Spanish. He doesn't give a shit if I swear in Spanish. If I get mad and I swear in Spanish, my mom still knows though. She's like, "Don't swear." What, in neither language? Now I'm cut off from 2 languages?
Learn to swear in Russian.
What the fuck is that? Yeah, right.
Learn to swear in Russian, man. Or Japanese, pick one.
No, but in Spanish, que coño de tu madre, a mí no me gusta esa vaina que tú estás haciendo.
Because, like...
What's the next question?
Okay, no. Yeah, I'm just like, because I'm trying to figure out how to pace this. This guy's first episode, so, like, I'm just trying to figure out the whole groove of this whole thing. So, I want to say, like... We were talking about like people like understanding your comedy in different ways. Like, where would you want to take your comedy? Because like, as it pertains to me, right? My comedy, I really want to talk about like how I perceive the world, how like something can be conflated, and we just let something else go. Like, for example, for me, is that there's certain language out there that you just can't say to people because they will get offended. But at the same time, the president of Nestle can say water's not a human right and no one will care. Like, that's 2 things that are very conflated, right? One's actually robbing someone of actual clean drinking water, the other one's not. But like, where would you want to see your comedy take if you were like to keep going further into the career?
Well, I'm going to keep going further into this career. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Exactly.
I'm grinding. I'm going to eventually be able to stop doing the things that I do that I went to school for as a child and youth worker, and I want this to be my full-time profession. And so that's kind of the trajectory that I have my eye on.
Yeah,
and I'll do what I need to do to get it.
Because like you as like a child and youth worker, I can see how much that has actually affected your comedy because you know how to talk to anyone. You're such the most natural talker I've ever seen in like a first year comedian.
I appreciate that, man.
Because like everyone else is just like, oh, it's like like some people up there are just like on their first year, like even I'm like this. I'm not gonna deny this for a second, guys. That I'm just like cutting a bad wrestling promo. Like I'm just cutting a bad wrestling promo. I'm not exactly engaging or talking to the audience. I'm just like, yep. I don't like it when things don't go my way. No siree. It sounds so disjointed, but you actually sound like you're having a conversation with the audience, which is more than most people have in their first year. And so,
it's odd, though, that you say that because growing up, like it's so, for me, it is so easy to talk to people. It is a natural thing for me. I don't understand people that don't want to engage with other people. I work a lot with children and adults that, you know, are like that, and that's what I guess the interest is for me, and why I'm able to communicate so well, because I'm not gonna hold back. Like I want to communicate. I want to engage. And like I said, for my past, you know, I put myself in the firing line so that I can make other people laugh. And now I have, as I grew older and I understand it more, now I have the power to choose. Now I'm the one directing where that laughter and
so like
goes.
So from what I'm hearing is that you're a naturally extroverted person. Very
Yes, but at the same time, no. Dude, when I played sports my whole life. If my parents cheered for me when I would score a basket in basketball, like, I would be pissed at them. Like, they would clap for me, I'd be like, fuck up. You know what I mean? And that would throw me off. Feeling like I was being watched and that there was an expectation of me, rather than me just, now, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, exactly.
I have my own expectations, and I know what I want. I'm not worried about what other people expect.
Okay. But, like, since you're, like most people within their first year have, like, a hard time, like, going up on stage and, like, talking with people, because, like, let's be fully honest with everyone that goes on stage is naturally introverted. We are socially awkward as fuck on that, like, off stage. Like, you think, like...
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, when I'm on stage, if you saw me on the street, would you be like, that guy's a stand-up comedian?
Absolutely
no
not.
Fucking way.
Okay, I think we can bridge this in right now. Like, Ruth, you don't think she's a comedian?
No, well, I do. When I walk, I take the subway every day to work, you know, back and forth to comedy shows. Every person I see on the subway, before, I never even would have given it a thought. Like, is that person funny? Is that person a comedian? Is that person an actor? Now, it's all the fuck I think about. I'm like, is that person a comedian? They could be, because I know everybody's looking at me, being like, this guy, there's no way.
Yeah.
He's a comedian.
And once you sit down and talk,
I love being the underdog, though. Unexpected, and you know, we're real, because look at me, tattoos everywhere, piercings everywhere. You think parents walk into the schools that I work at and are like, you're my child's child abuse worker?
Stereotypes are amazing, my friend.
But I'm the fucking best at what I do. So that's just kind of how, like, I view, like, this journey to comedy and where I want it to go.
But, like, since you're really good at talking all that, what do you, like, have any? Did you have, like, any fears when you were first going on that stage, when you wanted to do the comedy the first time?
I did, and I want to give a shout out to Jokers. Jokers in Richmond Hill. That's my home base, and that was where I got my very first opportunity to get on stage. And like I was saying before, like, in high school, speech time, buddy, horrified. I would be procrastinating as much as I could. Didn't want to do it. Even after high school, like, I didn't like doing the public speaking. And after high school, you know, moving away to Venezuela and living there, and then coming back and having these different experiences, I was a little bit more comfortable with the communication part, but still didn't want to do anything in public. My sister's wedding, I had to do a speech, but he did not want to do it at all. And I don't know what clicked. Like, this one night, I was with a friend, and we were walking down over near Joker's, and I didn't even know it was there. We walked by it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Let's go in and get a drink. So we went in and got a drink, and Kale, who's the head receptionist there, she was in there, and a show was just ending, so people were filtering out, and I asked, like, can we come in and have a drink? She's like, yeah, show's done, like, come in. And I asked her, I was like, do you guys do, like, open mics? She was like, yeah, we have an amateur show on Tuesdays, which is Vong.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vong.
Shout out to Vong.
As well for giving my first opportunity.
One of the hardest working men in all of Toronto.
And yeah, she told me come back on the Tuesday. I went on the Tuesday and I fucking chickened out. I went there and she was like, are you gonna go on tonight? And I was like, no, I just want to watch it first. And she told me, she was like, don't come back next week unless you're going on. So I promised her I would. I went on next week and I fucking smashed it.
That's good. That's what I like to hear. Like, cause like I remember
I fell in love, man. Like it's shit. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, because I remember my first time, it was just like I ran off the stage and I had like 3 minutes left because I was just so scared.
I did that too, though. Like I think it was like my third time.
Yeah.
I just like blanked halfway through my set, and I think I only had done like 2.5 minutes, and I had 5.
It's not a normal thing. It happens to everyone. Everyone, so please.
Yeah, no, guys, like it happens, but it teaches you that you can get through. Like it's not gonna kill you. It helps you learn. You know, you're gonna. It helps you become a better comic.
It does, and also like I want to expand on something because you brought up Venezuela. And you've told me some wild ass stories from you living there, like
yes, sir.
Especially in Caracas.
No, in Caracas is why I still wear my rosary.
Okay, tell them your experience about living in Caracas during that wild ass time, if you want to.
Yeah, man. What kind of stories you want? Like the amazing ones?
The ones that make you go, how the hell you survived that?
Yeah, I can talk about a little bit of that stuff. So when I moved down there, it was after high school. I didn't have a lot going on here. I wasn't, living my life in a healthy way, let's just say. And making silly decisions. So I decided with my family that, more my abuela, my grandmother, who's my best friend. I love her to death. Hilda Paredes. She's my best friend. So she raised me when I was a baby because my parents were both child and youth workers doing shift work. But she was like, I don't want to see you in this shit anymore. Like, I want to give you the opportunity to travel, to see a different way of living. So I moved down there, and she owned a business for about 50 years in Caracas. It was a photocopy shop in Oficentro. And, dude, I originally went down for, I think my ticket was for like a month and a half, something like that. Dude, my first week down there, I called my mom. I was like, cancel the ticket. And I just stayed. I fell in love. And that country, I don't know if everybody knows, but please to all my Venezuelan people, toda mi gente, it hurts to know that so many of us have had to leave our own country, and because of the corruption of the government and the breakdown of the infrastructure. in Venezuela, one of the most beautiful and richest countries in the entire world for all resources. But yeah, so when I was down there, that was when it would start to get bad. So it is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. And so the things that got me in like dangerous situations were me kind of like backing up the people that were there. So at the time, the students at all of the universities in Venezuela were they were protesting because of the laws and the corruption that weren't allowing them to learn, get jobs outside the country. But the jobs inside the country that they got, you know, their diplomas and degrees for wouldn't pay them enough to, right? They wanted to keep it kind of in-house stuff. So there was a lot of things that, you know, the young people were wanting to change for the future. So I would go to the marches. And these marches in Venezuela, when riot police come, it's not like riots in Canada or in the US. Usually, in most parts of the world, if shots are to be fired, to clear crowd, 2 in the air, 1 in front. Venezuela, 3 in front.
None in the air.
None in the air.
It makes you truly appreciate
right into the crowd.
Yeah. And
dude, I have seen multiple people die in front of me in different ways when I was living there. But that's the dark piece of it. Right?
Exactly.
That's the sad, scary shit. Like, how am I still alive? But at the same time, dude, that place changed my life. It's the most beautiful place in the world.
And it gives you kind of an appreciation of what we have here in Western society.
Absolutely. Because I lived there with no running hot water in my apartment for the time that I was living there.
That sounds like hell for most people here.
Exactly. But for me, I was attracted to less, but living more.
Exactly. And
like the people that have almost nothing there are so content. It's crazy. And they're so happy with the little that they have. Yeah. And they don't want anymore. Like, they're good. They're like, I don't want extra shit.
And like here, it's like people, your internet gets cut out and they lose their.
Oh my god, fucking Rogers.
Yeah.
The entire world went nuts.
I know. And what was it like? You truly appreciate, because like those are university students, like had their whole lives ahead of them, willing to die just to say something.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. And that's like bravery on another level.
It's crazy. And these were kids that knew that the chances of them even taking a stand wasn't going to change anything. And now look at it. I was living there 17 years ago. Bro, look at the country now. It's it burned. 5 million Venezuelans left Venezuela last year. All of my family dispersed. I have family in Spain, Germany, Hungary, Thailand, Italy, Miami, Seattle. They're all gone. Yeah. Like, they left their home.
Because there was like an influx of also Venezuelans like going to Brazil, they were going to Trinidad, they were going to
But again, in South America, like when they leave Venezuela and go to another South American country, it's not like their life is
better,
any easier. That's why so many are going to Europe, overseas. But yeah, no, it was also the best times of my life in Venezuela. Right? I met people that changed my life. I had experiences that I didn't even know existed, you know, that you could even experience. I was able to travel to different parts of Venezuela, and just the experience of it changed my life, man. a beautiful country. Dude, have you ever walked outside in the morning and just grabbed a fucking mango out of a tree and ate it on your way to work for breakfast? Like, that shit is fucking clutch.
Yeah, in Trinidad, I have had a similar thing, but my grandmother just got it herself.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
I understand it. I understand
like, that shit doesn't happen here.
You can't do that here. It's tropical fruit.
Well, aside from the tropical fruit,
Yeah.
but like you're not walking around fucking grabbing a fucking banana out of a tree and just
For free, too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Outside my abuela's
Yeah.
condominium, there was a mango tree that they planted, like full of mangoes. The entire condo would walk around. Everybody would grab like a mango off the tree, walk to work.
It sounds great, man.
I know. We gotta get the fuck up out of here, man.
Not yet. We still got some time to...
No. Fuck up out of Canada. We gotta go to like Venezuela once it's clean again.
We'll risk our lives for that sweet, sweet mango.
God damn it.
I would. It's mango, not pussy, man. It's mango. Let's be real, man. Okay.
I don't risk my life for no pussy either.
It's okay. Okay, what was it? In the like, let's look to the towards the future now. Like, me and you have had this conversation before, and a lot of like comedians' end goals are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your and my end goal is the exact same thing. We want to one day have that Netflix special. And we all know people, some of them want their residency in Las Vegas. They want to be on TV. They want to do this and the third. But, like, how much would you say that Netflix special is important to you?
Incredibly important to me. That's, right now, that's my goal. I'm not going to put a ceiling on my trajectory and where I want to eventually be. For now, that's where I'm aiming. And for me, once that is filmed and put out, residency, yeah, cool, like, that would be great. You know, eventually, one day, maybe. But having that one piece of art filmed and documented and put out for the world to be able to see, it's undeletable.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, whether you delete it off Netflix, they fire you, cancel it, it is somewhere on that fucking internet. And so that message will always be spread. And that's my goal. Like, I want to spread laughter to as many people in the world as I can.
It's always going to be
show the art of what we do.
And it's always going to be out there in perpetuity. So, like, you'd want, like, and I always said this to everyone, like, I tried and I failed is a lot better than what if.
Fuck yeah, man.
Because, like there's a lot of people are...
you live in fear, you're not going nowhere.
You're not going anywhere. And you have to, like, in comedy especially, you cannot be afraid to fail. You have to...
I like bombing sometimes.
you learn a lot from bombing.
But I like bombing. And another thing as a comedian, I like getting roasted. Like, I want somebody to fuck with me. You know, even if I'm on stage, I don't mind hecklers. It gives me a challenge. And
plus it means that they're engaged with what you're saying.
Yes.
So that.
But even if they're being assholes, because remember that one time I did kick that one heckler out from that open mic?
To be fair, the guy was very, very drunk.
He was wasted, and I just had enough. But now I would use, if I was on stage, I wouldn't have got off stage to kick him out. The only reason I did that was because I was off stage. If I was on stage,
you're
buddy, that's gold time to me. I'm fucking with your ass.
Yeah, because like I'm not afraid of hecklers as well, and I'm fine with getting roasted too. Because like
it's fucking hilarious.
Exactly, but at the same time, like you have to have some skin for it, and like roasting, as most people don't know, roasting is an art. And like
it is. You got to be quick on your feet. You got to be able to, you know, you can't roast somebody and like have that shit written out. Like it just doesn't work.
Exactly.
When you're roasting somebody, you boom, off the top of your head.
Even at that, like with like someone like when Patrice O'Neill was doing the roast of Charlie Sheen, like he had a list in front of him. Like you, there is planning that does go into it, and as well as like
there's a premise
Yeah.
behind it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but it is also a different style of comedy. There's so many different styles.
There's so many.
Storytelling, punchliners,
storytellers. And like,
So what would you consider yours? What is your style of comedy?
My style is like most people, like when they see me, they say they can hear the Patrice O'Neill, Bill Burr, and Dave Chappelle energy. So I'd say more storytelling, because like yeah,
I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, because like I like weaving this whole gigantic tale and trying to wrap it all up together in one. Like, for example, like when it comes to 5 minutes, you can't just like, you have to like go like so many different steps, and like to most people 5 minutes doesn't seem like a lot of time, but when you're on the stage it feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when your adrenaline's pumping and you're trying to like make sure everything lands. But like, yeah, I'd just say more storytelling, because I'm more attracted to making people think about what I'm saying and to try and comprehend it. Like, I love that comedy that's very insightful. I love that comedy that's very thought-provoking.
Like a comedy that, makes you think.
Exactly, because, like, as good as Jimmy Carr is, like, I love Jimmy Carr. He's just punchline after punchline after punchline. He's like, the only thing I can call him is a machine gun. He just keeps going.
Yeah. Which is impressive,
Exactly.
but again, like some people, like it doesn't
jive with them.
It doesn't jive because they need like more of a lead up to hear the punchline, right? That's their preference.
Exactly, and that's where my preference lies too, because I love how like the one special that I will always go to the strongest storytelling was Equanimity by Dave Chappelle on Netflix, because like he starts the joke off with
That's the one that he broke down with something about birds. Was the other one?
the Bird Revolution.
Okay, yeah. So that one was the 2-part one.
Yeah, there's a 2-part one, and like the first joke that he tells on it is like he says like, I write jokes backwards. I pulled this out of
a fishbowl.
And I kicked her.
No, what he does is he said he just writes punchlines and throws them in a fishbowl, and then he'll pick them out every once in a while and try and write a joke around it. And the one that he does in that is, so I kicked her in the pussy.
Yeah, and he ends it with that. He says that like in the first 5 minutes, and the special's like over an hour long, and he ends it with kicking the girl.
So that's a stroke of genius.
Exactly.
How he was able to hold that in his back pocket. But as a comedian, because we know the behind the scenes, do you think that was already written out?
It was possibly already written out.
Like, planned?
I would say so. Like, it's stretched out and all that.
Think about it. He's doing a fucking special.
Yeah.
Everything is fucking...
Yeah. I wouldn't say like it was...
Everything is doctored, though.
Everything's
but
doctored.
you vibe with it, and you make your little switches and changes as you go. But... like, it's doctored, right?
It's kind of like magic in that way. Like, you're just...
But that's the magic behind it, man.
Like...
It's like somebody doing a card trick. Like, is it real magic, or like, is it just sleight of hand? Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
It's a version of expectation, is what it is, and I love it. What else? Let's say...
But it's also the genius behind somebody putting in the work to be able to have that illusion or presentation, like, in their back pocket, like we do.
Exactly.
Nobody knows we're comedians, right? If you go into a bank, nobody knows you're a comedian.
Everyone thinks
you imagine you just walked in, you were like, right, and everybody was like, everybody said yes. Just a day of all yes. All human beings said yes. You walk into a bank, guys, everybody listen up. Sorry to disturb you. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm gonna do 5 minutes right in front of you, right here in the middle of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And you do it.
Yeah.
That shit would never happen.
Never.
Unless it... Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. It sounds so stupid now. This is all recorded. Goddamn.
It's okay, man. It's live for a reason.
I forgot like where I was going with that, but I guess it's just the fantasy and like the illusion and the fantasia behind it.
Like what was it? This one comedian, Madison Cassidy, said, like, you reminded me of what he says, like instead of like when you're doing your set on stage and when you do your set in real life, it sounds like a manifesto. And I'm like, oh crap, he's kind of right. It does. But like, let's see how much time we got left, guys. Because like I am.
How long have we been going?
45 minutes.
Jeez.
A bit more or less 45 minutes. But like, yeah, still getting the whole gist of this whole podcasting done. But I'm pretty sure like you and me, we're having a blast doing this.
I'm good to go, man.
Yeah.
This is fun. Dude,
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm honored.
Yeah, because like did not know how this was going to go and everything like that. By the way,
I feel like it's a cool conversation to have.
Exactly.
You
And I would just say like any advice that you would give for people who want to get into comedy, I'd say.
First off, try it. Go out, go to an open mic, follow other comedians that you hear names of in the community. Doesn't need to be a headliner, because I know that can be intimidating to people, wanting to jump in because they think, oh, headliner wouldn't even give me the time of day. But I've noticed that a lot of these headliners in Toronto are willing to, show support and reach out to build the community back up after COVID. I think it, blasted our community. But my advice would be go to mics, go out to shows, try and network with people, and follow me.
The socials are in the bottom.
Follow me on my socials.
They're right there on the bottom. He has his Instagram, his TikTok, and his Facebook.
Hit me up, DM me. I can, direct you guys in the right direction.
Same here. If anyone has any questions, I'm an open book, because like at the same time, like I understand how daunting it can be, because it's just like everyone's afraid of failing, and you shouldn't be afraid of failing, because like, oh, what if they don't laugh? Don't worry about that. Like your first year, like I'll give everyone a story. I ran into Dave Attell at the Comedy Cellar in New York.
Yeah, I saw your pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, and he just said, like, dude, man, it's your first year. Just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the smell of the roses. Don't think about not getting a laugh. Just learn and get better. And I'll tell everyone this. Every single comedian is super approachable. If they ever, like, if you just ask questions to them, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? How should I begin? They will give you a general answer.
Yeah.
They won't.
They will.
They won't like put. They won't. They're people too. They won't brush you off. They won't be snide towards you. I've never had a comedian act badly to me at all. Like, and just trust me, everyone. I'm someone who struggles with generalized social anxiety. I go on that stage and I talk to people, and I'm still able to go and do it. And everyone wants to give their knowledge that they have.
Absolutely.
And everyone wants to help each other out. Like, the main basis of this podcast is to get everyone's name out there. Because I want this scene to grow, and I want it to prosper, and like no one really understands each other.
Or it will.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you having me on here to like this community is gonna continue to grow.
Exactly. And I love that, like, because like what most people think is that like, oh, our community is like very competitive. Yes and no, is that like when it comes to like the actual like book shows, of course it's gonna be competitive because we're all fighting for space. But when it comes to like open mics, we will actually point you in the direction of where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do there.
I think that's the case for even like more competitive, situations. But at the same time, like, you want to think you're the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? If this is like that passion of yours,
Mm-hmm.
like the level personally that I have
Mm-hmm.
about this is like, I want to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the Michael Jordan of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will do anything, put the time in, the work in, the practice, you know, the lack of sleep. Travel.
Oh, you mean
travel time.
you mean going to the comedy lab and staying there until 3 o'clock in the morning?
Fuck, man, everything, bro. Shout out to Denton and Comedy Lab as well. All the places that have given me opportunities at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, man, like I'm not stopping.
Yeah. Nor should you.
It's going down.
You've got a future in this because you are, as I said, a natural talker. You can hold a conversation. I've seen you hold a
Plus, I'm a real one. I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
I appreciate people.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've met very many people that don't like me.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like when it's like one of those things like I want to call it an availability heuristic if I'm mistaken. It's
I have
basically
no idea what that
it's
is.
a psychology
Plus, I'm
term.
high as shit.
This is why everyone in the scene thinks I'm too freaking smart for my own good. But it's just basically like you think about like every single horrible scenario that you've ever been into as it's worse than what it seems. You have a very vivid understanding of everything. So like it's the same thing with me. Like I have more good interactions with people than bad.
Yeah.
Like, and the same thing with you. You remember all your good, but like the bad ones just kind of stick out a bit more. But,
Yeah, for sure.
So
The
like,
bad ones are the ones that are like that thorn that, you know.
Yeah,
you
that
can't
thorn in
pick
your
out.
side.
But like, those things also mold you, right?
Mm-hmm. So So trust me when I say this, everyone. You're gonna have more good times than bad when you're doing this stand-up comedy thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
For fucking sure.
Yeah, exactly. And those the highest of highs are worth the lowest of lows.
If somebody can make somebody laugh, the
Mhm.
person that made that other person laugh feels fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
That is just a natural physiological reaction in the human.
That shot of dopamine to the frickin' veins, man.
Straight up. Like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Look at and you could go like into psychology about it. Like,
Yeah.
look at little babies.
Yeah.
First time a kid hits a baseball off of the
T-ball.
baseball tee.
Yeah.
All excited.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you tell a joke that somebody laughs at, all excited.
Oh my god, you feel like you just like
$1 million.
like you just hit a touchdown in the Super Bowl. But okay, so I think we're almost hitting an hour, so let's just try and close this out as best as we can.
Alright.
And then plug your shows and plug your stuff, man. Plug your shows and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will be. Hold on. Where's my phone?
You can look at your phone. That's fine.
Alright. So I will be at Lola's in Kensington Market on Wednesday for a friend of mine. His show is called. Sorry, I should have had this prepared ahead of
It's no
time.
problem.
We will be at Lola's for what time? God damn it. Anyway, I'll be Kensington Market on the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
At I believe 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can check my Instagram because I do have the posters posted. On June 9th, I will be doing a show for the Friend Zone Comedy, which is Matt Duffy at Lock Stock Cannabis, 8 to 10 p.m. That'll be at 8 Gladstone Avenue, Unit 1B. So that's on the 9th of June. On the 10th, I'll be up at the Sociable Pub in Newmarket for big dog Chris Bonaparte. So shout out to him too for giving me a spot on his show.
Mm-hmm.
And the headliner will be Mark Trinidad.
Oh yeah.
For that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will also be doing another show on the 24th. So there will be a couple more added in June, so just follow for more information. But 24th of June, I will be doing abused and infused cannabis for King's Court, David Seeley.
Okay.
He runs a show once every 3 months, and it's an event, has marijuana vendors during the daytime, and then starting 8 o'clock, they close out the vendors, everybody leaves from the vending pieces of it, and they have a private event. Everybody's allowed to smoke. They hand out joints, edibles, drinks, whatever you guys want. Everybody gets stoned as fuck and does comedy.
It just sounds
so
like...
I'll be featured on that as well. I can't wait for that. That'll be a fucking experience.
That actually sounds fun, but like with me is like I don't know if you remember that I'm allergic to marijuana.
Yeah, see,
so
like
I'm just
I don't know. What if I get you a gas mask?
I just go.
No, that's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited for that, and I won't drop it yet, but I got a big one in July, first weekend of July. I'll be dropping that information soon on my socials, so you guys can come and follow, check it out. If you guys want to come out, come out. I promise you guys will have a good time.
I guess I'll plug my stuff now. Is just like I have as of right now, I'm mostly doing open mics right now because I've made myself a promise at the beginning of the year that I would continuously make new material and get past 30 minutes of material.
Yep.
So far right now I'm at 20, so I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready, like crushing it right now. So that's good. But like tomorrow I'm gonna do Poorhouse for my open mic. And I'm gonna try my best to get onto the qualifying list because like there's a
wait.
Poorhouse,
fuck.
Yeah, Danny's mic.
I think I might come down to that after.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna message him and see if I can get onto the list early because like people sign up for that mic at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like,
no. Now he's doing it. You gotta be there by 6. He's not taking any before.
Okay. Because like I was just like I just
sign up.
Yeah, I just showed up and I went there last week, and I was like 30th, more or less, and I showed up at like 5.
Emil was there.
Yeah, Emil's great.
Buddy, that guy is making moves. He's gonna do things here.
Yeah, I'm really every time I see him.
All right, plug your shows.
No problem. We'll talk about Emil after. My net.
Are you high?
No. Let me just I have my shows here. Like I know there's one Brampton and Up Your Kilt on June 17th. At 8 o'clock, I believe.
And where in Brampton?
Yeah, in Brampton. And what was it? I know I have another show sometime soon. Give me a second. Seems like no. Yeah, just a show.
I feel like this is like the perfect couch for like a reenactment of like the Dave Chappelle like fuck your couch.
Yeah. It's like cool where they're like punch your legs out. And then he was still going. Fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch.
And then I was like, but like yeah, just mostly because I just recently did Sweet and Spicy like you did this week. So like I would say like I don't really have much in the pipeline as the shows right now because I'm still I haven't really been looking, to be fully honest. Like it's just like I want to just refine my material and get it better.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. But as of right now, like, I think we'll be closing out this podcast first, but at the same time, I will give a shout out to Emil right now, because Emil is 79 years old.
Oh man.
And he's
79 years young.
Yeah, 79 years young. He's going out. He's going out there. He's making it work, and I just am so happy every time I see him perform.
Dude, every time I see him, he just makes me smile.
Exactly.
Right? Like, just the sight of him makes me smile.
And the fact that he's trying and succeeding, might I add.
Oh, killing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, killing it.
I just can't. I hope he gets what he wants, because he says he doesn't want to be like famous. He just wants to be good, and he wants to just make people laugh. And
but that's what's gonna make him fucking famous.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Mm-hmm. That he's not. So again, like I know I'm gonna make a lot of money doing this, but it's not why I started it.
Exactly.
I do this because the personal joy that I get of watching others get joy.
Because for me, it's like, as I said, it's not about the money, it's not about the fame, it's about sending my message. That's
Absolutely.
That's what it is for me. And
that's what I do for a living as well, right? Like, I'm a helper. I work in service.
I work in medicine too, so like I understand.
Oh man.
Yeah. But okay, so I'll just plug one last thing. I have a Streamlabs account. 100% of the proceeds go to the podcast to make it better. Like, I'll get better mics, better equipment, better background. Hopefully, I just want to make this podcast viable, because this is, as I said to Jess Danja, who will be my next guest next week.
Hey, guys, I'll be tuning in.
Yeah, I told her, this isn't about me, this is about our community, and expanding it and making people know who we are, and making people understand why they have to care about our comedy and why they have to care about what we're saying.
Absolutely. Well, they don't have to care.
Yeah.
And they don't need to listen, but what we do is influential. And I think, kind of part of that message that you want to send is that, like, we just want people to recognize that, like, what we do, holds value. If
I can say this, like, one of my sets did offend someone, and it made them very angry. But there was another person there that said the fact that you stood behind what you said gave them courage to stand up for themselves, and that made me go, like, you know what, I'm going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So right now, me and Miguel are going to go out to Ribfest in Newmarket.
Fuck yeah, we're going to get some ribs, baby.
And I hope that you guys will tune into the next episode.
I'm hungry as fuck. He doesn't smoke weed. I'm smoking another joint, though.
He's going to be really hungry when we get there.
Oh, shit. Thank you again, brother.
No problem.
Hermano, muchas gracias. Es un placer para hacer esto contigo.
Thanks, man. That means a lot, man, because, like, I wanted to start this off strong, and this was the strongest way to think of starting it off. Natural talker, has a bright future, really funny man, really great man.
Let's go.
The only
What, the only shit part about
the only thing is that, like, this is episode 1. So, like,
hey, buddy, I don't mind being the bullet. I'm setting the bar.
Yeah, and you set the bar really well, and I really hope that everyone tunes in for the next episode of Method to Madness.
Please do. Jazz will be up next.
Jazz will be up next. I'll send out the promo tomorrow. She is a very talented comedian, very bright spirit. I love her love her dearly, and I hope that everyone enjoys the podcast next week as much as they enjoyed this one.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time, my brother.
Yeah. Have a nice day, everyone. Peace.